The children, welcome to our next class. In last class, you learned about poultry farming, cattle rearing, how it's useful to the society, and even for the farmers. You learned. And in today's class, you are going to learn about some more occupations which are very useful for us and which is giving very nutritious food to the people that we are going to learn. You can see the picture and identify the living organisms. What can you see in this picture? What are these? They are fishes. So, in today's class, you're going to learn about fish farming, how the fish farming can be done, and what care to be taken, and where actually fish farming is done. This all you're going to learn in today's class. So, you need to do the activity as like every lesson, but here you will see the cages of the fishes where they are grown, how they are growing in natural surroundings, how they'll grow, that we will see from the pictures. We are going to see from the content book. These pictures are given very clearly in the content book. So here you will read the word as ditches. Ditches means the small, long, narrow channels dug at the sides of a field or road to store or carry water away. A small ditch means which is used to store the water. So, how ditches are used in the fish farming we will see now. So here you can see the beautiful pictures of fish rearing. So fish rearing farmers will use fishes and also prawns they will grow. They'll catch the fishes from seas, lakes or rivers and sell them in the market. In contrast, fish farmers rear the fish and prawns in their farms. So thus they will take it as occupation. So here farming can be done in two ways. One is cage farming, as you see in the picture. You can see here in natural surroundings, natural water bodies like a river or a sea, they will arrange some cages. You can see here how the cages are arranged in seas and rivers. So, in these cages, the fish can be grown. Fingerlets, they will say, very small fishes, they will live in these cages and they'll supply the good nutritious food for growing fishes and prawns. When they grow to the maximum size, required size, then they'll capture these fishes and sell in the market and they'll get profit from this. They will earn from money from this fish farming. Okay, so another method is pond farming. In pond farming, a small ditches are made by the farmers. They are not from natural water bodies. Artificial ponds are made to rear the fishes and prawns. Like this, you can see the ditches here, small ditches. They will arrange and they allow the water to go into the ditches, and in these ditches, they'll grow the fingerlets like small fishes and prawns can be grown up to their maximum level, and when they grow into maximum size then they capture these fishes and prawns and sell in the market. But the only problem in the fish farming is if so many fishes are grown in a small area, then the oxygen level get reduced. So maximum level of oxygen should be, otherwise it may harm to the fishes and many fishes may die. So continuous monitoring of oxygen levels in these ditches is done by the farmers. So to reduce the loss in fish farming, they have to monitor the oxygen levels. Understood? So here how they are checking the oxygen levels you can see, and the ditch farming, how the ditches are formed you can see. So in this way the farmers are getting profit by rearing the fishes and prawns, and the local people who are staying near to this fish farming centers, they'll be benefited by eating the nutritious food. They'll get the nutritious food, healthy fishes and prawns they can buy from these farmers, and they'll be healthy by eating this nutritious food. So, to understand more about this, once watch this video, children. You can see the video.
Fish and prawns are reared on a large scale on fish farms.
So, these are
For
fishes
fish
and
farming,
prawns.
sometimes cages are placed in natural water bodies.
So, you can see here
Farmers
the
take care of
cages.
the fish and prawns on their farms and feed them regularly to produce more fish, which they can sell in the market.
So, by selling these prawns, fishes in the market, they'll get profits and they'll earn their livelihood. And also, they are providing nutritious food for people. Okay, so what do you need to plan for your fish farm? We have to see the water source first for rearing the fishes. A natural water body or man made water source should be there. Once the farm is set up, we need to think of regular cleaning and sanitation of the farm and feeding for the fishes. This all we have to see. We need to see whether the fish can produce eggs for more fish. When the fish are big enough, we can sell them. So, like that, the fishes should also produce the eggs. The egg rearing is also done in the fish farming. So, how is fish farming important for both farmers and other people? Just now I said farmers can sell in the market and they can earn the money, whereas the other people will get the nutritious food by eating this healthy and clean, fresh fishes and prawns. Okay, so, this picture will tell you how important fish farming is and what are the necessary things for farming fish farming. Putting cages in water bodies like seas, rivers, and lakes, and making human made ponds, small tanks, or ditches. This is just how to set up the fish farming. And why they are actually opting the fish farming as career means to get the fish and prawns in a large quantity to provide a means of earning money to fish farmers. To earn the money, they are opting this as an occupation. What are the benefits of fish farming over fishing in the sea, rivers, and lakes? Natural water bodies, fishes, prawns, all are growing, but it would be difficult for the farmers to collect in a large number at a time. When they grow in artificially in their fields, then that would be easy for them to collect when they are grown up and easy for them to sell in the market. Yes, and the only thing they have to take care of the oxygen level in the water when they are rearing the fishes or prawns. Understood, children? So now we will see what are the questions given in fish farming worksheet. So the first one is tick the place from where we can catch the fish naturally. Naturally, from which water bodies we can catch the fishes, you have to tick it. So, the first one is a huge water body. So, definitely it gives us the fishes. The next one is river also gives fishes. Mountains and valleys could not give us fishes. You know that very well. And the next question you see, children, look at the picture. Look at the fish farm of John and Krish. Answer the questions. The first one is John's farm and the next one is Krish farm. Write two ways in which the process of farming fish on John's farm is different from that on Krish farm. How these two ways are different, you have to write. So in John's farm, this is known as This can be done in seas and rivers. This can be done in seas and rivers, in natural water bodies. In natural water bodies, John is rearing the fishes. Whereas Krish, human made water body, this is artificial water body. Human made water bodies. So, like ponds also can come under this. So, that is the difference between John's farm and the Krish farm. And John farm is called as cage farm, and this is Krish farm is known as pond farm. Cage farm and pond farm. So, like this, I gave you hints, children. You can complete the answer by observing the two pictures. Why is farming fish important for both Krish and John? It is important for them because they opted this as their career option. So to earn the money, it is important for Krish and John to rear the fishes. Yes, apart from this, if anything important you feel, you can mention the point over there. Now, how can we benefit from these farmers? Okay, John and Krish are benefiting by selling those fishes in the market and by earning the money. How could it be useful to the nearby people? Then definitely it is helpful to the people nearby the farm. They can get nutritious food. Very nutritious food they can get. Nutritious and fresh food they are getting when the farms are near to them. So the local people will get very nutritious, clean and fresh food from the farms. Isn't it? And the last question is, write one thing that Krish needs to always keep in mind. So both of them has to keep in mind every time, that is checking off oxygen levels in their farm. They had to check the oxygen level in their farm. It should be in correct level, otherwise the fishes may die. Understood, children? So now once again you read the content book and complete the practice questions which are given in the content book. We'll see what questions given in the content book. Circle the things needed on a fish farm. In fish farm, what things need? A fish bowl is needed in the fish farm. A fishing net is needed. Fish food is needed. Pond is needed. Aquarium is not needed while in the fish farm. Even the fish bowl is also will use in very less quantities when we are growing. Right, two main things you need to set up a cage fish farm. A cage farm, when we need to set up, the water body should be. We need a water body. First, a water source is required. A water source, natural water source, that too natural water source. A sea, a river, or any natural water source is required to set up a cage farm. And the next one, write any one advantage of fish farming over catching fish naturally in water bodies. One advantage is at a time they can catch many fishes. They can catch many fishes at a time, and they can save the time. They can earn more money. They can earn more money. These are the advantages when they rear the fishes in cage form or pond forms. Understood, children? So read this lesson and nicely write it clearly in content book and also in the volume book. Okay. and we will also see the apiculture. So, dear students, just now you learnt about fish farming, how to rear the fishes, what are the different methods you learnt. Along with this, beekeepers are also taking one more occupation from the society, that is beekeeping, rearing the bees in large scale known as apiculture, rearing of honeybees on large scale called as apiculture. So, how apiculture is done, what purpose beekeepers are doing apiculture, we'll see in today's class. You can see in the picture how honeybees are collecting honey, and how they are rearing on these boxes very clearly, and it is so interesting to observe how the honeybees collect the honey. Naturally, it's happening every time around us, but we couldn't find it and we are not noticing it. But it's too wonder to watch this. So here I'll show you some pictures to you. You have to identify that which picture may come first. So you should arrange these pictures in correct order. So here you will read as honeycomb and the cosmetics. Cosmetics means your soaps and creams, body lotions. Those all are made from the wax from the honeycomb. Honeycomb is made by the honeybees. So that's so interesting to understand. So once you look at this picture, you can understand how actually the honey is prepared. The honey is prepared from the honeybees. You can look at the honeybee here. It's an insect. So you know very well, you learned about insects. Insects will have 6 legs, 2 wings, and head, abdomen, and thorax parts. This all you learnt in before class. So they collect the sweet part from the flowers. The sweet part is known as nectar. The sweet part in flowers known as nectar. So the honeybees collect the nectar from flowers and they will change it into like honey. They'll store this food in their stomach, and the excess food in the form of sugars they'll store it. That's only called as honey. So for storing purpose, they'll make a comb, honeycomb, by secreting some wax type particle from their mouth. They'll make a honeycomb. So this, the people are making artificial honeycombs, and they will attract the honeybees here, and the honeybees will come to these areas artificially where the apiculture is done. So there they'll deposit their honey, and later the beekeepers will collect this honey back. When they are collecting the honey, either from the apiculture center or naturally, they will wear a gloves, and they will cover their mouth, they'll cover their nose, they'll cover entire their head. Why? Because honey sting is very harmful, so painful it is. That's why they'll cover their face while collecting the honey. That is only the thing they have to take care when they are doing the apiculture. So you can understand more about apiculture by watching this video.
Apiculture is the process of rearing bees on a large scale. Bees collect nectar and convert it into honey in the beehive. Beekeepers collect the honey and wax and sell them in the market.
So honey is
Honey
very
is
important
useful
for
to us in many
It's
ways.
helping to make the medicines and
Beeswax
cosmetics.
also has many uses and is used for making different things.
So honey have many medicinal values. For preparing a number of medicines, we are using honey. For making many cosmetics, we are using honey. So, what do the picture shows about how the beekeepers protect themselves? They are covering their mouth, they are covering their head, and they are also covering their hands when they are collecting the honey from the honeycomb. And beekeepers need to protect themselves from bee stings. Bee stings are very painful. Now, how is honey collected? By rearing honeybees? Honey is collected. Bees suck the nectar from flowers. Half digested nectar in their stomach is known as honey. So, half digested nectar they will bring back again into their mouth and they'll start storing it for their babies in honeycombs. This is only known as honey apiculture centers. Artificially they'll attract the honeybees, they'll rear the honeybees, and then beekeepers will collect the honey from it. When the honeycombs are filled, bees seal them with the beeswax. Beekeepers scrape off this honey, which is then filtered, stored in bottles, and sold. The beekeepers set up their apiaries near gardens. Why they'll keep their apiaries near the gardens? Because the honeybees usually go and collect the honey from the flowers. That's why this apiaries should be very close to the garden. They rear honeybees in wooden boxes to produce honey and wax in large amounts. This process of beekeeping is only known as apiculture. So, steps of making honey: bees suck the nectar from flowers, nectar changes into honey in beehives, and beekeepers remove the honey, and honey is filtered and packed later. So, these are the different process goes on in apiculture centers. Why is apiculture important for beekeepers and us? For beekeepers to earn the money, as usual, after collecting the honey, they'll sell in the market and they'll get profit. For us, it is very nutritious and many medicines are made from it. Many medicinal values are there in the honey. That's why it is important for us. And now we will see what are the related questions in apiculture. So, what does the picture shows? The picture shows a honeycomb, naturally made honeycomb from the honeybees. It's a honeycomb. It's a honeycomb made from honeybees. It is just a hint. You can write your answer, complete answer there. And the next one, name two useful things we get from it. So, from the honeycomb, what we are getting? We are getting honey and also wax. Wax and honey, both we are getting from the honey base. Next one, write the numbers 1 to 4 in the boxes to specify the correct order of steps that should be followed to get honey. Which step should come first? You have to identify from given 4 steps, and under that you write number 1. Okay children, it's so easy for you. So honey is bottled first? No. Honeybees collect nectar from flowers. So second box will be the first step in apiculture. And next, beekeepers collect honey? No, nectar is converted into honey in the beehive. So this last sentence will come as second step in apiculture. And the next one, beekeepers collect the honey from the honeycombs. Then this is the third step. Finally, honey is bottled. That is the fourth step. Understood? So, write two safety measures that should be followed by beekeepers. They should compulsory wear gloves when they are collecting the honey, and they have to cover their head, cover their and they should compulsory cover their head when they are collecting the money. because they should protect themselves from bee stings. Why? Because the bee stings are very harmful for them. Understood? Now, the last question is, many apiaries opened in India in the last 10 years. Write two ways in which apiaries are useful to us. The apiaries which are very near to the gardens, will have a quality honey because the honeybees will collect the honey from flowers. That's why apiaries should be very close near to the garden. When they are, we can get the quality honey. Understood, children? And then you read about this apiculture from your content book, and then you see what practice questions you can do by your own. This is the last lesson from your science textbook. So, circle the correct answer. Beeswax is used to make food, plastic, candles, cosmetics. Definitely B and D are correct answers. To make the candles and to make the cosmetics, we are using the wax. Make a flowchart showing the journey of honey from bees to bottle. Just now we discussed all those steps right in order. You wanted to set up an apiary, write two things you should keep in mind about the choice of place and your safety. First thing we should set up our apiary near to a garden, and we had to take care of ourselves when we are collecting the honey. So these things are known things to you, children. Nicely read this and complete your practice questions and also the workbook questions. Thank you.